Hey everybody. So my name is McGill. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Arise. I'm here with Logan Graf today. He is, one of the experts on the cutting edge of accounting and professional services. Super excited to be here with you today and chat about a little bit about AI and how AI is changing accounting and the professional services space. So do you want to give a little introduction?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Logan Graf. I'm a CPA based out of Austin, Texas. I run a CPA firm. It's all virtual, but service, business owners and individuals. I also create content for other accountants and host a community for accounting firm owners. But thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. Really happy to chat with you. Yeah, Logan, you've been a user of Rise for a long time and shared that. So we're eternally grateful for that. It's super helpful and we really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
It may be coming up on 5 years. I don't know. It's been a while
Oh my
since.
gosh. Yeah. Man, I mean, I think so because you might have been an AppSumo user, right? Did you come through AppSumo or maybe shortly after?
I don't know, but I started using it to track my time with, the buckets of firm work, client work, admin work, content, and so I've been able to use it as a reference over these years on how much I'm working and can kind of get a feel for, you know, where I'm spending my time.
That's awesome. Yeah, because we actually just passed in February our 5 years since we first launched the product. So I think you're probably one of the earliest users. So yeah,
Nice. It
thank you
was,
again,
yeah.
man.
It was referred to
Yeah.
me. Someone was like, "Hey, you should check out Rise," and he never used it, but I was like, "I'll try it out." And I was like, "Oh, this is sick. It's everything is automated basically." So I was like, "Heck yeah, this is what I've always wanted with time tracking."
It's awesome. Yeah, it makes me happy to hear. Um, all right. Well, in terms of kind of, one of the big things that's on a lot of people's mind, agencies, professional service owners, is obviously AI and agents and how it's sort of changing the way that we work. And so I guess to start, I'd be curious from your perspective, what is actually changing immediately already inside of professional, accounting firms that you're seeing or individual accountants?
Yeah, it's able to handle a lot of tasks that are low value tasks where we don't we don't want to spend a bunch of time on, and we can use AI to really accelerate using data, lots of data. We're always working in spreadsheets. We're handling a lot of documents, and so AI is able to really accelerate, how efficient we're able to work. There's a lot of like broken out, segregated, segmented components to what we do still, and so
Hmm.
it's hard to fully use AI in the most efficient way. But like something like tax research is gotten way better essentially, and tax there's also tax specific AI now that I would
Awesome.
recommend versus using a general agentic AI, but using a more
Hmm.
specific accounting and tax related AI. That's just me. Other people have full confidence in other models, but you want to use the best for what you're doing for your work. So why not spend just a little bit of money in order to have that confidence in it?
What are some of those, tax specific AI tools that you've been using?
Yeah, there's a I've had this thing called the tax book for 5 years, probably since I started my firm 5 years ago. It's called the tax book. It used to just be like a tax research website and they have like this book, physical book that they send out every year because tax changes every year. And
Hmm.
so they initiated their own AI with their research. So I'll use that. And
That's awesome.
I've used BlueJ AI tax research, CoCounsel by Thomson Reuters. There's TaxGPT. There's all sorts of like tax specific AIs now.
Awesome. Yeah, it's super exciting. I think you see it popping up in a lot of these like specific, I know legal tech right now, there's a bunch of, specific, AI
Mhm.
tools and products targeted at that because it's sort of a unique workflow.
Mhm.
I guess that's a question then is in the tax world, in the accounting world, is there areas that you think specifically that are going to be really quickly replaced with AI or changed with AI, and then areas that specific to the accounting world won't be.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of breakout companies, AI specific companies with tax prep. And this year, this tax season, you've seen a lot of people starting to test the waters with AI tax prep, and to where it's probably gonna be very common in the next couple of years as they are able to refine it. Basically, the basic tax returns where you have simple data, simple tax forms, it'll be pretty much automated. And so, like, I, I I'm perfectly cool with that, honestly, too. Helping with the automation. I've already used kind of an automation software, OCR technology software, in a way
Mhm.
that does it already for me, but it's gonna only gonna get better and more efficient.
That's awesome. And so, what will be the ripple effects for accounting firms out there with these changes? Do you think?
Yeah, there's so many directions this can head. I mean, I think a lot of people will realize that they can use AI now to do their tax return. So we're probably going to see more people churn due to AI. Most of my clients, thankfully, are more advanced, and they actually desire more of a relationship. And so
Hmm.
I would say those that are doing only basic tax returns, and a lot of them, they may see more churn, client loss due to it. But there's also people that are very hesitant with
Yeah.
going that route as well, and using
Hmm.
TurboTax. So a lot of people
Yeah.
don't use like online free software by the government, by TurboTax, H&R Block. A lot of people
Yeah.
still don't use that, even though their return is very simple and they still pay someone, you know, amount of money. So there's always going to be the element of someone just like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to think
Yeah.
about it. That will
Yeah.
always be there. So I'm perfectly okay with AI coming, and if we can use software that'll help our prep process as well, then
Yeah.
it's gonna be pretty nice for accountants as well.
Definitely. Is there? I guess that's a kind of related to that. So, in your firm, and for if you were to recommending to other firms out there how to best prepare, like what are some things that you would recommend as a firm to do to take advantage of some of the shifts that are happening?
Yeah, you really have to lean into the human element of what we do and to really build relationships with your clients. A lot of my clients recently just want someone to be there for them versus just be a tax preparer, get their return done. So
Yeah.
they want that connection, human connection. So I'd start working on being able to form those relationships with your current clients, and then when you're marketing your services, you want to have more personal touch. You want to just be more than like almost a commodity. You want to
Yeah.
have that service value, that relationship, that advisor type relationship where you're more than a tax preparer, you're more than a bookkeeper. You're able to really help people understand what's going on, and just be a good relationship with them, because those that are just there for the tax return, again, AI is coming for them.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess another area I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on is around kind of billing and pricing. Do you think that the AI and rise of AI is going to change the way that accounting firms and bill their clients, or do you foresee any changes there?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot, because if AI, continues to do its thing and improve and able to really speed up processes, like, do we need to charge as much for certain things? And so I think the value of our services is still there, but maybe, like, for example, with business clients that don't do their accounting at all, but they don't
Hmm.
have that many transactions. They give us all their bank statements, like a bank export, like a bank statement transaction export.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it. You can feed that into Claude, and it'll come up with a pretty pretty slick trial balance, documents that you would need to use for the tax return. It's not 100% though. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
we ever do that, we are verifying everything still. It still takes time to make sure it's all right and double check everything, double check the balances.
Hmm.
But as that improves, that'll definitely speed up that type of work to where, we would maybe charge $1,000 for a client to like kind of get their books up to speed almost to if they were a simple client. And now like if we
Yeah.
can have AI really do that very quickly, then we probably don't need to charge as much. The client can do it as well on their end. So it's you kind of run into the situation, well, do you just boot it back to the client or just like, hey, do you want to still pay us a fee to do this? Do you
Yeah.
want to get AI to do this for you or do you want us to do it for you? We'll
Yeah.
get AI. But we'll still have verification. When
Yeah.
we have when we work for businesses, we don't take we do our due diligence and just don't take the numbers for what they are. We're always verifying all the numbers, and that's what's so important in all of this. With
Yeah.
doing taxes, doing accounting, people will put all this data into the AI and just be like, "All right, I'm good."
We're done. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's right.
Yep.
It's got to be right, right? And they'll
Yeah.
put like this blind faith in it, but you have to have a person to verify it. You have to have like a person that knows what they're doing, but
Totally.
just like coding, you're not, I
It's
mean,
yeah. Yep.
you need to make sure that it's actually going to work. It just accelerates like maybe the time it takes to get to the outcome. And like there's a perfect example yesterday. Daniel Vasilo, I can't remember his last name, but he's actually pretty big on Twitter and or
Yeah. I think
X.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and he he's like, I did my tax return. I had AI do my tax return, and I filed it. And he's like, I had Claude and GPT like verifying each other, and there's this huge glaring issue where he filed the return without a K-1, and that's like what he needs for his tax return because it's part of like his businesses last year. And
Hmm.
that's like the most obvious thing that a professional would
Yeah.
have caught. Like, no, we're not filing without that K1, but AI
Yep.
just had him do it anyways. And that's like the
Yeah.
most ironic thing ever because the most glaring thing that you should not
Yeah.
do, it did. And all the professionals are like, what, you don't you
Yeah.
see this right here?
Yep. That's probably going to cost a lot more than
It
just like
might
yeah
cause
having
some issues
yeah.
down the road that that might not be worth it. It might be okay. It might be okay,
Yeah.
but still, like, why not have that extra level of confidence?
Yeah, that it reminds me a lot of code, like you said. It's like you can use AI to generate the code, but we as a developer, you still need to review that code. And there's always mistakes, there's always ways to improve it. And so yeah, you definitely still need that human in the loop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think there are areas where soon in the accounting space where you won't need the human in the loop anymore? Any specific like areas that jump out?
That's hard to say
Yeah.
because I don't see it right now. I'll just say that. Just from what I've seen. But maybe next year it'll be
Yeah.
better. So it's yeah, I don't know if I would ever let it run 100% just on its
Yeah.
own. Just because, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. I'm the same.
Yeah, not
Um,
yet.
yeah. Um, one more question sort of around the business of accounting firms. Like, do you see margins changing? How do you see that evolving? Like, do you see maybe the structure of accounting firms changing with AI?
Yeah, like who do you need to have on your team now with AI? And I had the thought recently, like, do you still need admins basically? Or do you hire
Yeah.
an admin to run the AI? Like there's so many different routes you can go with how this turns out. Like I feel like you always got to have somebody making sure that AI is right. So maybe you
Hmm.
have or like is doing its thing. So maybe you just have a person that's over different. agents essentially
Yeah.
that are managing all the work. So it's probably more of a reviewer manager type level person. And this is years down the road, I feel like. I don't know if
Yeah.
I think this is years down the road. Uh, Technology could surprise us. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it could just reduce the amount of lower level employees that you would need. They'd basically be interns almost. I could see
Yeah.
it like interns, entry level people, and that's kind of worrisome as well to think about for the next generation. We're like, all right, well, where do I
Yeah.
get in here? Do I even have a career
Yeah.
anymore? How do I even do this? So we're basically reshaping the whole workplace uh,
Yeah.
over the next 5 to 10 years. Like, what is this really going to look like? How are we going to work together with AI? And it's moving so fast. I don't think we really can. I don't think we've caught up to really the realities of it all.
Yeah.
I think we have to like slow down a little bit and just make sure we're doing things right. We're not putting too much faith into it because
Yeah.
I think I see that happening. But we
Yeah.
just need to take it more slowly, in my opinion. What's the rush? I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
want Skynet here
Yeah. It's
that
true.
fast.
That's true. Um, all right. I guess one last question then is really like around how you have been. It sort of relates to this, like how I think a lot of people are interested. You're one of the accountants I think that's probably on the more cutting edge of using these AI products, testing new workflows. What is your process look like for trying to implement AI more in your day to day? Like, do you have any sort of principles there or processes that you could share that might be helpful?
Yeah, I'm using an AI that's built by Thomson Reuters right now, and they have the security on lock, so I can use
Awesome.
client information with it, and my clients have signed off that they know that AI is part of my work process now, and so you got to have permission from your client, and you got to make
Yeah.
sure that AI is locked down. I'm not putting this
Yeah.
in the cloud. Well, like personal type of information, they call it PII,
Yeah.
and so I'm using a lot of it where I can reference, be like, hey, I have this document, like I'm not exactly sure how this works on the tax return. Like, where does this go? Because there's sometimes the translation from the tax form to the actual tax return, it's kind of a mystery. Like
Yeah.
it's not in the instructions exactly how to get something somewhere, and so I'm able to use it to reference, tax code. Like, hey, if I have this tax document with this client's situation, what is going on? I'll reference it with other documents and be able to
Hmm.
say, like, is this actually right?
Yeah.
So it's really a lot of like verification on my end as
Yeah.
well with the work that I'm doing. I can double check myself basically as well, um,
Yeah.
and just get confirmation on what I'm doing. So, but I I'm using it a little bit for bookkeeping, low level bookkeeping work. Just trying that out with tax return business clients at the moment,
Hmm.
and that's only going to get better. But ton of tax research, ton of newsletter, helps me with newsletters, writing,
Oh yeah,
emails.
that's
Yeah. So
using
it
that
helps.
advice. I mean that admin stuff. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It just helps you like save your brain power. Uh, like, oh, I gotta start from zero. No, just
Yeah.
just start from AI, and
Yeah.
then go from
Exactly.
there.
Awesome. Well, yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining for this, and it was really interesting chatting with you. Super excited to see where everything goes, and yeah, like really appreciate you using Rise for all this time. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, it's a great product. I love it. Thanks so much for having me and building an awesome product. I get questions about it weekly, so I'm a
Awesome.
big ambassador. I think I technically am ambassador. So
Yeah. 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 Awesome. All right. Amazing. I'll just pause this.